Good day, everyone. Today I'll be presenting technology, education facilities, and philosophy of technology, themes and topics. This chapter focuses on the importance of facilities in promoting technological literacy and preparing learners for a rapid changing society. Let me start this presentation with a question. Why is there a need for technology education facilities? Will you agree with me if I say that as technology advances, education faces constant challenges? These changes are most evident in technology education, where facilities play a crucial role. Unlike traditional subjects that can rely on standard classrooms, technology education requires hands-on learning, specialized tools, and organized laboratory environment. Di ba ang hirap magturo halimbawa ng visual graphics design, technical drafting, kung wala tayong capable computers na magpapagana sa app na required yung mga yon. So ano nga ba ang role ng laboratory facilities? What are the purpose of technology education? The purpose of technology education is to promote technological literacy for all learners. Students need more than computer literacy. They must understand how technology shapes society, history, event, and ethics. Without this, individuals and the democracy itself may struggle to make informed decisions. Role of laboratory facilities. Technology laboratory supports the academic curriculum. Modern lab encourage exploration, discovery, and problem solving across 4 clusters: communication, construction, manufacturing, and transportation. The technology laboratory is the central to the curriculum. Unlike the old industrial art shop in the past, today laboratory are designed for exploration and problem solving. Now, through that, if the student experience yung mga ginagawa sa industry, they can communicate their thoughts to other student, construct actual projects, gamit yung mga facilities na meron dun sa laboratory. The classroom turns into a more meaningful and lifelong learning or lifetime learning, since the student already experience what is like to handle those facilities, those equipment in the laboratory. Objective of technology education facilities is to provide a high quality, long lasting, and flexible learning environment. The key consideration for this are the physical arrangement, accommodation of the instructor, the changing role of the school, and the philosophy of facility design and development. Technology education facilities must provide the best learning experience possible, designed to last for long decades. They should be flexible, attractive, and adaptive for future technology. Lab should be centrally located in school so that they can integrate with other subjects. Most importantly, they must support safe and effective teaching and learning. Today, the focus is shifting more from teacher-centered to learner-centered instruction. So the design of the laboratory should adapt to that kind of change. That means facilities must allow students to take more responsibility of their own learning, while the teacher act as a guide. Types of laboratories. Historical types of facilities has 3 kinds. Unit shop, focus on one activity, for example, machining, automotive. So there's a special one activity on a certain shop. Second is yung general shop, which focus more on one material. A shop dedicated, for example, for metal, for wood, for ceramic. Then third is a comprehensive general shop, which integrate various material and processes. that has auxiliary spaces that include resource room, seminar room, storage, finishing areas, and teachers' offices. In the past, these facilities are often isolated from the rest of the school. They were considered noisy, dusty, and mostly for students who were not headed to college. This gave a rise to a dumb ground mentality, an outdated idea that unfortunately still lingers in some school today. Alam naman natin yan, lalo na siguro sa mga public schools na kung saan nag-offer kayo ng STEM, UMS, ABM at the same time TechVoc or technical vocational, no? Most of the student na nandun sa TechVoc is nagkakaroon ng stereotype, no, na pagka nandun ka sa course na yon o sa subject na yon is medyo mahina, no? So parang nagiging option na lang siya ng ayaw na magtuloy sa college. But today, there's a growing recognition that all students need technological competence to succeed in a global economy. However, confusion still exists, especially between educational technology and technology education. This is two different concepts requiring different types of laboratories. To add to this, even disciplines like physics and chemistry are adapting their curricula with technology application. Because of this complexity, local technology teachers, we play a vital role. We must guide the administrators, school official, and the community to better understand what facilities are needed and why technology education is essential in building technological literacy. At this point, it is very important to make a clear distinction between educational technology and technology education. Educational technology is all about using technology as a tool to support learning. For example, when we use computers, projectors, or app to make lessons more interactive, that's educational technology. The focus here is on how technology help us teach better. On the other hand, technology education is a separate curriculum area. This is where students actually learn about technology itself, its tool, processes, materials, and its impact on society. In this case, students are not just using technology, but they are also getting hands-on experience in laboratories, such as communication system, construction, etc., etc. To simply put, educational technology is teaching with technology, while technology education is teaching about technology. Both are important, but they serve different purpose in learning process. Let's talk about facility planning and organization. Planning and organizing technology education facilities is a complex process that requires collaboration among educators, administrators, and the community. First, the design must be rooted in the school mission and philosophy. Without this foundation, any curriculum or facility will lack direction. Second, curriculum plan is essential. It cannot be static. It should be a living document that evolves as technology changes. Importantly, any purchase of new equipment and resources should be made if it directly supports the curriculum. So kung may bagong halimbawang competency doon sa course na nangangailangan ng bagong gamit, tsaka lang tayo bibili ng bagong gamit. Third, next, the school must analyze current and future needs by comparing existing lab tools and spaces with what the curriculum requires. This ensures that the investment are strategic, walang masasayang na pera. Where resources fall short, school can explore grant or partnership to bridge the gap. So, diyan papasok yung mga brigada eskwela, adapt a school program, where we can find resources sa mga stakeholders natin. Finally, there comes the big decision. Kailangan ba natin mag-renovate, remodel, or build new? Each option carries financial and time cost. So the choice must be guided not just by public pressure, but by what will truly enhance student learning and technological literacy. In short, facility planning is about aligning philosophy, curriculum, resources, and infrastructure to create a space that prepares students for the future. So who are the persons involved in facility planning? Here are the key stakeholders. We have the faculty, school administration, school board, the design team, and of course the general public or the taxpayer. Okay? When it comes to planning for a new remodeled technology education facilities, many people must be involved to ensure success. The process usually begins with the faculty to check if the curriculum matches the school mission and philosophy. Once they assess the need, the school administration gets involved to oversee the entire process. Then the school board plays also a role because they must approve yung funding. From there, the general public became a part of discussion since taxpayer support is necessary para sa mga ganitong large-scale na project. So, magandang tignan natin kung ano ba yung meron sa locality natin. No? For example, galing ako ng Navotas, no? Bago ko mag-Cavite. No? So, it is karamihan ng tao doon, ang kinabubuhay, fishing. No? So, may mga vessels sila doon. So, the school, see that. So, nung lumapit kami sa Aboitiz, sa mga stakeholder for a lab, ang pinustor namin na lab is SMAW, no? Shielded Metal Arc Welding. Since that's the need of the community, no? So, ayun yung hinanap namin at ayun din yung inoffer namin. Educational policies, belief, and laboratory requirements. In the past 20 years, technology has changed faster than ever before, and the school have to adapt. Many still hold on a traditional belief from the industrial art area where lab focus on teaching specific technical skills with basic materials. These labs were teacher-centered, isolated from other subjects, and filled with large industrial-style equipment. But today's needs are different. We are in information society where students must become technologically literate to succeed in a global workspace. This has led to the rise of technology education labs, which are flexible, student-centered, and system-based. Instead of focusing on the material, then integrate communication, construction, manufacturing, and transportation. Here we can see a direct comparison between the industrial art lab of the past and the technology education lab of today. Industrial art labs were rooted in the factory era. They were designed to develop technical skill, focus on material like wood or metal, and relied heavily on the teacher as the main source of knowledge. These labs were often isolated from the main building of the school, filled with large industrial equipment and duplicated across among many stations. In contrast, technology education lab reflects the information age. Their goal is to is broad technological literacy. They are system-based, covering communication, construction, manufacturing, and transportation. They are flexible, centrally located, and designed to connect with other disciplines. The teacher's role has also shifted dramatically. From being a sole provider of knowledge, we teachers become a facilitator, diagnostician, and collaborators, helping students to take ownership of their own learning. This comparison highlights how facilities must evolve if we want to prepare students for today's technological and global workspace. Because outside of our school, no, hindi na natin pwedeng turuan yung estudyante. they should be capable enough, no, to face real-world challenges. Growth and development during the 1980s and the 1990s. During the 1980s and the 1990s, technology education experienced significant growth and change. First, in terms of curriculum, there was a shift away from a traditional manual training to a broader focus on technology education, emphasizing areas like communication, construction. Second, technology itself became a major driver. The introduction of personal computer and advanced tools such as the CNC machineries, fiber optics transformed the learning environment, making lab more modern and versatile. Lastly, yung teaching approach also evolved. Educators started recognizing diverse learning style, which led to the rise of technology, learning activities, and modular instruction. This allowed flexible, hands-on, and updated ways of teaching technology. Overall, this period laid the foundation for today's modern, student-centered, and technology-rich laboratories. Present laboratory facilities. Let's identify the type of laboratory required for each level. First is elementary level. Labs often integrated into classroom. Small tools cart, common tools, and storage spaces. At the elementary level, laboratories don't have to be expensive or separate. Usually, they are just part of the school with small room cards and easy-to-use materials like cardboards, softwood, plastic. The purpose of this is to help the children reduce abstract learning and experience technology with their own hand. For an instance, in other class, pupils use paper and plastic straw to draw or build bridges. No, they test with which bridge can hold the most coins, connecting the lesson to real life structure they see every day. Junior high school level requires separate laboratory for broad-based technology lab that is flexible, integrated with other subject. The facility should be flexible, integrated with other subject. For an example, in a TLE grade 8 laboratory, student can practice basic electrical wiring, learning how to safely connect light bulbs and switches, no? So, pwede nyo siyang i-relate sa science class, no? Parallel series circuit. So, those skill they can actually use at home. In senior high school, there should be a specialized lab for every competency. No, merong hands-on activities for building, experimenting, and presenting. It also requires flexible and adaptable spaces. No, school setup should separate labs from the lecture area. These spaces allow the student to develop deeper knowledge and prepare for college, technical school, or working training. For example, in STEM class strand, student use the lab to design and build bamboo furnitures as part of the manufacturing cluster, combining creativity with practical skills. In a TVL strand subjects, student can stimulate small business setup like a printing shop or food processing stations, preparing them for entrepreneurship or employment right after graduation. Next is the teacher education facility. That should be the most adaptable facility, no? There should be able to go into an area and set up demonstration laboratory for a particular school setting. The purpose and influences of the laboratory. It provides environment to study technology, develop competencies, and connect with other subjects. Promote technological literacy for national progress. Modern lab attract support. Outdated lab loses relevance. Visible proof of school commitment to innovations. So, the main purpose of technology education laboratory is to provide a space where students can study, practice, and apply technology in real-world context. The main purpose of technology education laboratory is to provide a space where students can study, practice, and apply technology in a real-world context. It's not just about skill, it's also about connecting technology with other subjects like math, science, and even social studies. A well-organized lab influences not only the student, but also the parent, administrators, and the community. Well, when we see modern labs, they support the school more. But if they see outdated labs, they think that the school is behind. It's behind. So, doon natin makikita, 'di ba, na kaya mas maraming enrollees yung ibang school kaysa sa isang school kasi tinitignan ng parents, ng students, yung mga laboratories natin. And it influences their decision kung saan sila papasok. Kaya mas maganda, mas mainam, maayos yung ating mga labs. Looking ahead, technology education facilities must always evolve. Students need laboratories that are flexible, modern, and adaptable to new tools and methods. Instead of an old step, one-size-fits-all model, we move forward. Individualized instruction and multi-use activities. For example, imagine a Philippine public school where classrooms have movable walls and shared computer labs. In the morning, students work on robotics or coding. Then, in the afternoon, the same space transformed into a digital design hub for community training. No? Di ba ang ganda nun? Then, in the 21st century, the technology lab won't be just a classroom. It will be a community learning hub, preparing everyone to adapt to a rapid changing world. So, that will be all. Salamat po sa pakikinig.